Hey everyone, doing this video today because I haven't found a lot online about actually how to get this job done on the side that matters, the driver's side. It's usually the one that leaks. Everyone will post a video of this side because it's so easy to take off the airbox, whatever. So there we go. I'm gonna do this, just kind of film as I go. That way hopefully help someone, and if not, well, who knows. I'll film it anyways. So looking at this, what I've decided to do is take off this airbox first. Obviously it looks like it's gonna get in my way. Gotta get the bolts way back there. So we're gonna take this wiring harness off. We're gonna take all these coil packs off one by one. I'm hoping that this thing doesn't have to get moved. So we'll try to work around that. And as you can see, mine's been leaking a while. I've been topping up my fluid like most people do, but the problem is it leaks right on that exhaust. And then when I park, it just starts smoking. Everyone seems to have the need to tell you that your hood is emanating smoke, like I don't see it. So I just tell them it's like that from factory, but we all know it's not. So we're gonna fix that because I got a big road trip to do tomorrow, and I'd rather not have this thing smoke when I stop. All right, so let's get into it. I'm not gonna film all the boring stuff, so I'm gonna take this off. I assume these are the bolts holding it on. This one, there's one over there. Not too sure if there's anything over there, but I'll check it out, and if I find anything hidden, I'll just jump on this and kind of skip through. You'll see it off, and then I'll point out what the hidden stuff was, what I unplugged, all that stuff. Don't know. Pretty much we're just gonna look at it and see if anything's on it. Like obviously we're gonna unplug this. Seems to be pretty important. Something to do with the mass airflow sensor, I assume that is. I'm not too sure, but regardless, as long as we unplug it and plug it back in where it was, it doesn't really matter what it is. There's our throttle body back there, so obviously that'll have to be unplugged unless it doesn't pertain to being on this. All we want to do is remove this plastic. So as little as I can take off, I will. And then yeah, we'll just go through it bit by bit. So here we go, let's get into it. Take that unit off. All right, so we got this off. What we did was just those two bolts, one there, one over there somewhere, where we showed before. Undo this little clamp, then you just pull it off the side. Undo this plug that I pointed to before. And that plug is just right there. And then we can pull this clamp just pulls off, and kept that on there because I want to do as little as possible to get this done. So now we got that off. Then this will just pull straight out, no problem. Then the next step we're going to do is we're going to take these injector plugs off and everything just attached to this big wire here. So we'll follow that down. You got these ones are your injectors, these ones are your coils. So you have 4 coils, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 injectors. They're harder to see, but they're down here. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3 is back here, and then 4 right there. These would be kind of hard to get off. A couple of mine broke, so I did it off camera. So it was a struggle most of the time. I got an old truck, so that's why I got a deal on it. And obviously, as you can see, my thing has been leaking for a while. No one's been doing anything about it, so now today's the day. So you get those four, and this will still be attached by the front. Be a little bit of tension on it, but if you take these little things out, they actually go right on top of these bolts. If you just pull them straight, they'll all come out. And there's 4 of them on there, and then you'll be able to kind of freely move this harness. So when you do it, the harness will kind of sit like this. You've unplugged the 4, pull it out, and then now you can kind of move it. Just be careful you don't break that wire. It's got a little bit of play on it. So what I did is I just kind of slowly move this over. I don't have to fully take it off as long as I can get behind here. And then this is the gasket that we're replacing. So I'm gonna blow this all off with the compressor and stuff. And then, so as you can take that off, the plug side should be done. And now we gotta go back in here and we gotta take all 4 of these off. It's gonna be kind of hard. I think these are 10s, but this one back here, you need a little shorty to get into it. So, and there's one tucked way back there. So I'll grab those. I'll try to film some if I can, but it'll be kind of hard to film. So I'll just tell you how much of a bitch that back is to do, because there's also a couple bolts back there. So if I get a third party out here that can film me doing that, I will. If not, I will just do it, and I'll explain how much of a headache it is to you. All right, here it is. Let's keep going. So the next step, after we've disconnected everything on the wiring harness, I did blow out all the crap in here because you don't want anything kind of in that little area to fall down in there once you take it off. But I did use the 10 mils to take all these out. Actually, not these front two. I started with the hard ones. But anyways, back here, And back there, they're really not that bad. That little bolt, it's the same pattern, like one up top, one on bottom. So one up top there, one up bottom. Once you just crack them, they'll come out by hand. And you're just gonna kind of pull this thing out like this. And it'll come out on a bit of an angle. There we go, that's the hardest one, so we'll film that one. Look like that, little coil pack. I want to wipe that down because the odds of you being back in there are pretty slim, hopefully. Let's get this all fixed up. So that one there, I'll go back in for the next one. Wham. No big deal. Look at all that oil though. Means my gasket was probably crap and that plug is probably having a hard time firing. Yuck. Anyways, so on to the next one. My tools of choice here, if I can find them. There we go. This little shorty with the 10 is gonna be a lifesaver on these guys. I assume it's gonna be a lifesaver back there, but our next bolts are gonna be down here. So these are the actual valve cover bolts for the bottom. You can see back there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then up top saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that we've moved some stuff, we can kind of see it pretty good. I'm trying to focus on that dipstick. There we go. All the way down there, pulled our wires. Another thing I did off camera is this is that wiring harness that we can move around that we unplugged. I zip tied it to the fuel rail because I don't want anything to be in my way down here when I pull those out, when you want to get your ratchet in there and stuff. So 2 zip ties, one here, one there. And if you look down there, I made myself all kinds of room. It doesn't look near as intimidating now as when we first started. So demonstrate my shorty here, because now I'm actually, didn't take those off and I thought I did, but let's see some real-time footage here. I'll get that back there. It's a nice clean valve cover I got here. You can see the years of neglect. Okay, with one hand I will do the transfer. Oh yeah, got it. All right. Film this action. See, she gets loose pretty quick. So that's why those back ones were good, because after 2 little turns I can get that by hand. And now these bolts will actually be part of this. They're not gonna come out of the socket. At least they shouldn't. If I say that, this one probably will. And I can give this guy a nice little turn. And that guy will lift right up once we get it all the way out. So it looks like a new unit once I get all this grease out here. Oh, see, this shouldn't happen. Usually they shouldn't come out of the top. But again, give her a nice little tug. Oh, sometimes you got a little extra pull on them, but that's fine. You're just breaking the seal. This was a nice one. Look at that. That's why the seal is so good. Absolute beauty. Not like that one. This is what that one strives to be like. Anyways, put this back in because these are pretty specific. I don't want to lose them, so put them back in the top level. You got a little thread spot. There we go. Don't let it slide off the truck into the dirt too. Probably help. This one's a nice one. We'll try there. All right, same thing with this guy. Didn't break it loose, so give her a quick break loose. My fingers aren't gonna do that. If they could, that'd be pretty awesome. Get a little break loose. All right, it's not doing nothing. The fingers in there. That oil dipstick really wants to be the star of the show. I'm just trolling in my shot. All right, I got this guy going. And like that's out, I'm gonna take it out. Oh wow, that's not supposed to come out either, so. Normally they stay in, these ones stayed in. That's what one that is good is like. You only do it that much and it should stay with the unit, with the coil. See, like this one's supposed to do that, where it comes up and then you can't pull it. It has threads. This one's obviously broken or someone replaced it because it's not doing the same thing, so. Oh wow, what the hell? Look at that, greasy. Surprised the truck was running so mint, going through all that. Anyways, our valve cover kit will do that because that's the seals in here. It's part of our kit. Oil will come in there and just go right in the where the spark plug is there. So the coil tries to spark it, but once that oil gets so high, like probably on this one, see how high it gets. Once it gets taller than where the spark plug meets in there, then it really has trouble sparking. So that might explain why when it rains, my truck does not want to go at all. A little bit extra moisture probably tops it up. So now we get to the fun part. We're all the way here almost. Final stretch for getting this off. 5 and 5. And these are 8 millimeters. So real tiny. Now I am great for not having the right tools. So my 8 millimeter, as you see, is not a deep socket. So I can barely fit on that. So what I do is I take it off, put it on. Oh, and I don't do that because my tools suck and that hole needs to be bigger. All right, so I'll have to get the bigger 8 mil, but if you get the 8 mil with the bigger ratchet, and you can even just kind of set it on, that will go right through the bottom. And then you can kind of part way get this top in here. It doesn't have to be perfect, but even to get like a little bit like that, it doesn't click all the way in. Get a little extra space, you can actually get those off, but I will show you in a second. It's not gonna film the 20 minutes it's gonna take me to find my tools, like true mechanic fashion. We'll just hop on to where I have my tools and we'll continue on. All right, back at it. Quick time lapse. I didn't spend 15 minutes looking for this bad boy, 8 mil deep. Didn't think I had it. Looked for so long. Let's get her on there. Give her a little crank ski. And she'll love it. And we'll go on to the next one. I see over here. That oil thing wants just be the center of the straw. There we go. Get that up there, yep. Throw loose, and they're not going to be that tough. Once they go, they'll start really going. Obviously, back here is going to suck, so nobody wants to see me get the front bolts. Let's go right to the dirty stuff. That's probably why this black thing is here, because they know if you're going to do some work, you're getting right in there. All right, let's dive in. Worst 2 bolts. One is going to be right here. Oh yeah, there she is. But this one really isn't even that bad, unless it's really rusted. There we go. Oh yeah, she's loving life. I got no problems. Let's go with the absolute worst bolt. It's got to be this one here. Oh, is my long one not even getting on it? It's gonna want to make me cut my socket. Yeah, see, that's the nightmare bolt. Right there. So look at it from under here. What a spot. Wow, is that greasy. Yeah, what a unit. All right, so let's try to force that on there. There's something back here. Whatever this stupid thing is, we'll push that back. Focus on the plug. We don't care about the plug. This greasy bitch. All right, try to get her again. The top. Maybe if I take this off. Oh, my hands are so greasy. This is not. Oh, it did come off. And it went right down there. Jesus. All right. There she is. We'll be back once we get this socket from the ground. Oh, we knocked another one down. Son of a bitch. All right, I'll cut the feed, find all my sockets, and we'll be back at her. All right, there it is. We got it. The worst bolt on it. So what I did, nothing to do with this. So I took the long unit for the short ratchet, the long 8, and I actually had to grind some off the top, and I had to grind some off the bottom in order to actually fit right in there. And it is super snug. It's ridiculous. But once you crack it a couple times, like that, you will be able to take it off just with this socket alone. There we go, she's moving. But now I want to get that off there because there's not a lot of room. Oh yeah, it's too much. Something's digging into my stomach. Just this piece here, holy shit. Is that in a horrible spot? Oh, Dodge, you really made this fucking possible. So that's stuck on. Oh fuck, I don't know how that's gonna work. I should have taken more off. There we go. Whew. A little determination, a little sweat. We'll get there. Oh, she's just turning like gravy. And then comes tightening it. I'm assuming it's gonna be no easier. Oh yeah, she's almost out. So she's doing a little bit of binding. There we go. We got it. This we usually shouldn't pull out, but I pulled it out because I don't want to take any chances. Oh, that's not fully out. Whew. So I was talking about, I shaved it. A little bit on the top. Why is this not focusing? A little bit on the top. Probably shave it down. I would almost shave it to that line. Still gives you lots to get in there. That's where your excess is. I shaved a bit off this too. There's that bit of a lip. Right, that was the absolute minimum to get it. But on install, I will shave this down to that line. I might take a little more out of that because there's quite a bit of meat in there to go. So make it easy on the flip side. All right. So now we got the two back ones, the worst ones done. We're just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can film the unveiling of pulling that unit off. All right, let's get to it after I cool down for a couple minutes, because that sucked. This did not help. All right, get back to it. All right, now that we've cooled off, thanks to my buddy's fan and my Corona, we're ready to keep going. So I've loosened all these. I've spun them with my fingers to get them all the way out. Kind of want to do it with the hand, that way you can make sure they're all 100% out of there. Next thing you want to do is take your flathead screwdriver. I just kind of place mine right in here and then give it a little wiggle. This will be pretty well loose once you get it initially. This is what the gasket kit looks like. Now, usually the kit has two. I have that one there. They're both the exact same for this side and this side, so you can't mix them up. The reason why I'm not doing this side at all is because I have another 5.7 Hemi in the form of this Dodge Charger that also leaks oil and smokes on the same side. So we're gonna do 2 birds, 1 stone. This one on this one, that one on that side, and then we're good. No more smoke, no more leaks. Don't know why this side leaks so much, but hey, what are you gonna do? So now you wanna kinda give it a little wiggle. So I do it with one hand, but I'll try it. So pry it there. So this is a little bit in the way, but you're just gonna kind of push past it. Oh yeah, look at that. If I can do it with one hand, you guys could easily do it with 2. So it's just down there, just slow and steady, lift it up. And there it is. Got that valve cover. Greasy, greasy unit. And I will obviously clean that up a little bit later. So there it is. Everything exposed. I got oil down there. Probably I'll take those spark plugs out and see what's up. But this is what I was telling you about when you get oil down in here, when you pull out these units, see the oil on there, it's because on the bottom, these are your seals. And oddly enough, this one is destroyed completely. This doesn't even have one. Oh no, it does. So keep an eye out for this. Look at that. Almost wanted to fall in there. So let's check for the other one somewhere. Maybe on the ground, maybe it fell, but make sure you account for all of them. So I'll tell you, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Even this one coming out of the side. So these all come out just like that. Just got a little pull. Nope, that's not gonna work. So we're gonna get some tools on here. Just give it a little pry. Not gonna hurt it because you're not using this again anyways. So it doesn't matter much. That guy out. This guy should come up pretty easy because it was absolutely mangled. That's my leak right there. I don't know what's leaking oil. It's probably that overflowing that back unit coming right out onto my exhaust back there. But regardless, we'll get that fixed. So we'll take all these guys out. Throw them some kind of garbage that I don't have accessible right now, right over here. And that's out. Hang on over here. Because we are taking out this garbage seal. So this is the seal. You can see it gets really brittle and hard. So it's pretty hard plastic on that. Right here, you can see the cracks on it. That's destroying your seal. I imagine that's what was on this inside, because the top doesn't seem as bad because it's not really seeing as much oil. So really, if you're in a pinch, theoretically, you could flip this and have that shitty side on the top that doesn't experience as much of the oil, because the oil wants to throw on that side because gravity takes down from that side. Just saying. If you're like me, you want to save a buck, that's a possibility, but I already bought the kit, so I'm gonna use it. If that's not what I was gonna do, I would have just used JB Weld gasket maker on there, because they have a really awesome oil resistant formula. So I'm gonna try this one hand. Just keep the video going, but show you how easy it is. That out of there. And see it just cracking as it goes. Garbage gasket. So it makes me almost want to replace the other side, but I'm not smoking from that side. But even this isn't going to be easy to get out. You're just going to kind of piece it out all the way along. Which you can get, be a little gentle with, and you can probably get it out without breaking as many times. So I'll go along. Just pull it out. Stabilize with my other hand. There we go. You get new appreciation for the how-to videos when you do everything with one hand, so it looks cool on camera. So I hope you guys appreciate it. If you do, like and subscribe. Hate saying that, but hey, the algorithm hates me if I don't, so kind of want to get on its good side. Alright, we're gonna, oh, okay, see that's that one-hand drawback. I wanted to flip in there. So I'm just gonna have to get you guys real close so I can stabilize. You have to really pry some of this stuff out of here. There we go. Oh yeah, she likes that. There you go, just careful so it doesn't break, that way you don't gotta keep prying. So I'm hoping to do this far in a little stretch without breaking it. Perfect. Now you're gonna wanna clean that out with something. I got some good spray and some good rags. I'm gonna clean the entire top valve cover. So a little before and after, looks like this. It's gonna look a lot better once I put the seal in, and then I will film me putting the seal in once I get that garbage out of there, clean up obviously the seal because I put a bunch of dirt on it. So again, quick time lapse, and we'll keep going. All right, so we cleaned up the valve cover a little bit. Obviously I'm not going ham on it because of the rest of the bay. I'm not too concerned. Watch the bolts when you flip it, you don't want them to fall. Did clean in that channel a little bit. So we'll start with putting these guys in. I'm gonna find there's a little small spot that goes in, so you can kind of see which side feeds in. You want to push them in nice. Just go around the edge, make sure everything is in properly. Next one. Again, look, see one edge is shorter, one edge is thicker. That shorter edge is gonna go in there. That thicker edge is gonna make the seal. So again, make sure these are in there, because that other one that I had ripped out when you see me take it out. So someone might have been in here and been a little too antsy, not went around them like you should. And I'll obviously double check these as well when I'm not filming, but just so you guys get an idea of the process, how long it takes, how easy it is, because I was honestly watching videos online and I put this off for months because it looks so hard. And now that I'm doing it, I thought, well, I might as well make a video because this is a lot easier than I thought. I'm used to working on BMWs, so this Dodge stuff really isn't that bad. The fact it's possible to do is kind of nice, because some BMW bolts, they make it just not even possible. There we go. It's got those 3 in. Now I go the big piece. So this one has the same deal. A little thin side and a thick side. The thin side is going to feed in. So I believe, not 100%, but I think that is how it would start it. No, these will line up at a certain point, so I'll tip this around until I get it, and then I'll be, oh, I think this is it. This side. There you go. So this tab is one of the edges, and that's all you really need to get her started. That, and then you're gonna follow through, just make sure it's all tucked in. Turn that. Again, small side in there, in the groove. Everything else should kind of line up. Go on the right side of the bolts. Alright, so I'll quickly do this off camera because 2 hands is way easier. Okay, so there it is. I got it all in. Sorry for having to cut this film so many times and going back in, but it's to save you guys a lot of time. So if you'll notice, these don't look exactly like lined up. Some of them are, but there's a slight offset. Like this one, it's not straight with that one. So the gasket reflects that. So you're gonna have this little tab on one side. I had it on this side. I started, didn't line up. Thought something was weird, flipped it, and now everything lines up. Because these and these are the same, but see, this gets a slight turn here, and then the same. So again, make sure that lines up. And then if it doesn't line up, you probably just have to twist it and push it all down all around the sides like I did. And now we are ready to flip it and put it in. Now this I will do, well, I'll try to film some of it actually. I was gonna do it off camera, but if I can set you somewhere that I can still work, maybe here, and you can see. Oh wow, look at that, what a gem. Unless this phone falls, that looks pretty good. Assume you guys are happy with that. Okay, and that being said, I'm not sure which way this goes, so I assume the tag is at the front. I have a tag down here, so I will try feeding in that way first. So again, just kind of feeding it through here, watching all my cords. You're very gentle because you don't want to hit that gasket on anything, because if you disturb it a little bit, then you could not have it mounted on the proper spot. Oh, there's something at the back kind of getting me. Don't know if you guys can see it, but that little nub thing, I had my flat screwdriver here. That is right in my way. There we go. I can past it. There we go. Right in, gentle down, and come on, be the right way. All line up. Want to assume they do. But I'm not 100% sure. Alright, well, we'll see. That looks like it's lining up. If this one back here turns, I think we're in business. Alright, so I'll take my small 8mm, a long socket here, and I will see some of these tighten up. So it's nice when you work on something, you gotta switch to the other direction. A little bit of righty-tighty action. That's going in fine. And to make sure it's the right side, I'll tighten this one, and then one that should be offset, which would be, come on, engine oil dipstick, not the star of the show, up there. So if I can get that one and that one good, So that should fall in line. I gotta go that tight. Just kind of testing. Alright, go up here because this one doesn't line up. Then, oh yeah, we're in the right space. So you can kind of identify it to where that tag is. Should be the bottom right hand corner. Front right hand corner. Depending. Let's now do this. We'll do the absolute nightmare at the back. We'll probably hand put that one in. And like I said, I'm going to grind this down a little bit once we do all the rest of them just to get that back one because it's such a nightmare. But other than that one, the rest of them really aren't that bad. The back one's not bad. All these other ones, once you move your wires out of the way, and this one too will actually be in the way. I just kind of tuck that up here over that. This hose, I just pulled out. It goes right there. It's going to be leaning across. Toss that over. Put it in the bottom. That really doesn't make a huge difference. That's just some sort of, oh, what is that on the back of the intake? Probably just some, actually that's a brake booster. What am I talking about? A vacuum for brake booster. There we go. All right, this one. Now I'm not gonna film this because number one, this sucks. Mainly because of this culprit. I should get a sweater or something, but like, why does that have to sit so much higher? You can see how much I was rubbing on it, how clean the tip is. So I'll fire these in, we'll go to the next steps. We're gonna do those, and then we'll set the coils back in. I cleaned the coils. I actually replaced the two that were really oily because I want this truck to run pretty mint. First now I did all this, so we'll tighten those. And you already know what a unit that back is, so I'll show you how good that one goes. And then yeah, we'll just do the reverse procedure, but I will film it so we all know. Because sometimes it's nicer just to see it go on and off. All right, so I got all these bolts tightened. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then at the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're tightened down, everything's good to go. Now we're gonna put our coils back in. I replaced the two oily ones because I have a bunch of spares, so that's no big deal. Just start at the very back. Always want the worst ones first. So I'll try to strategically put it up like this. Now you're gonna want to just bend these little rubbers in. There we go. And then kind of let them drop down. There we go. See, so that one's gonna line up. And there's one to twist these bolts. Just get them started. That way you can get back there with the ratchet. And these are not hard to get. They actually turned out to be surprisingly easy. Lay that one in. Number one, number two. And this one might go in the top because it was probably the hardest one. So again, you're gonna bend these in to get a little bit above where you need it to go. And shove them in there. And shove its friend in there. Oh. Okay, sometimes I don't want to cooperate, obviously. But it's not too good for its home. Oh, but it wants to be. All right, we're gonna grab the top here and get some weight on it as I ease it in. Oh, baby. It really does not want to go in. You can always put a little bit of oil on them maybe if you want to lube it down, but there we go. She went in dry. No big deal. All right. Also, it would have been a good time to take out the spark plugs and get rid of that oil, but I did not, because I will replace these spark plugs at a later date. And I have an awesome car show to get to tomorrow. I'm not looking to go too deep into this. The truck did run fine, but it did smoke like a chimney. And you do not look cool when you're pulling up to work. Everyone's like, hey, what's that smoke? You're like, don't worry about it. It's from factory. They know you're lying. That ain't factory stuff. All right, get it in there. These down started. Gonna go all there, just gotta get them started, but as far as you can go, the better, because the less turns you do with the little ratchet. Now this is a 10 mil. Ow, hit that, my head, that sucked. So I got that 10, but the only shitty thing is that one in the bottom was the tiny 10. When you heard that sound earlier, that was a 10 mil falling down here. So I'll have to figure something out for that. Maybe a wrench or something, but anyways, we'll tighten all these up down here and then away we go. And then all we gotta do after that, we'll undo these plugs. We'll get the plugs plugged back in, and then we will plug that hose back into here. And then we're gonna put this intake back on, plug in that little plug, put in those 2 little bolts. So once I find out what happened to this 10 mil, we'll get back at her. So there we go, we got them all connected. 10 mils all across, 2 each. 1, 2, 3, 4 coils. I lost my 10 mil permanently for my tiny ratchet, so I had to do that all with a little wrench. This little guy, so it kind of sucked, but we got it done. So valve cover bolts are done, coil bolts are done, that's all on. Last thing we got to do now, let's just reconnect some stuff. There we go, we're almost driving our trucks. No smoke. Of course, it's gonna smoke a little bit because there's some oil, as you can see mine dropped on the valve cover like that. And that is greasy, so we don't really like that. That'll burn off maybe 5-10 minutes, hopefully. We're trying to get no new oil on there, so that's the goal. Anyways, here we go. Clean up onto this, which sucks. This post is killing me. Anyways, do it help you guys out. And because I don't want my shit to leak oil. Well, burn oil, I don't really care if it leaks. Burning is the big deal. So we're gonna cut our zip ties now. Right back in there, mine's strategically placed, so I cannot grab it. There we go. And it's off. Right there. And as I said, I had 2 zip ties. I'll take this white one here. That in there too. Beautiful. So now I got those zip ties off. This should move a little better. So now we can lift it over again to the side it was. Over here, this tube. So before it was up here, just pop that in. No big deal, it's not gonna be that secure because the vacuum is gonna suck in anyways. This I just kind of pop down. If I know where that goes, I actually put that on the other side of the tube probably. I think that's probably how it went. All right, so now we go along here. We've got our plugs down here. I'm just gonna get them off that spot that I had them zip tied. So they kind of fall to where they go. Obviously, injector here. Can't really see this injector, but this injector is way back there. So I'm just gonna slip on there any way you can. I don't really know how it goes, but there we go. Hear that little click, you can push the tab back. Mine broke off. Another injector here. Click. Another injector down in here. You can't really see it, but it is there. Tell by the click. Click. Another injector up here. Click that one in. They can only go in one way. You can't mess these plugs up. It will not go the other way. And then you start up here. If you want, you can plug this back into the bolt top. Kind of line everything up. You don't need all of them, but you can have them all if you want. And again, just 1. Click. 2. Turn it around until it fits. That's the other side. 2. And this one's almost falling right there. 3. And last but not least, see this guy, it's hard to film it, but 4. So that's in. Then you can take these little units. If you want to make it look uniform, you can plug them back on the top. This one's got a plug, pretty greasy. Goes down there. And then that's it, guys. We're done almost. Almost. I'm getting pretty overzealous because we gotta get that back on. So take the intake. This one is pretty simple because this is just gonna slide on that. Bolts are gonna line up. 1, 2, and then we're gonna slide this side on. So I will see if I can position this somewhere. where you can see all this happen, all this magic, right there. All right, so flip this over, kind of look at the bottom, make sure we get that lined up. This can move out of the way a bit if we want it to. Just kind of jiggling into place. Because again, we're just kind of looking to make sure this top is what we want to line up. See that? Kind of will just fall into place. This isn't quite aligned, but we'll push some stuff around and give it a little jiggle and jiggle wiggle right back in there. So yeah, it's pretty good. So now I know I'm on. Now I just gotta line up my bolts. This bolt, and what do we say? This bolt here. Ow. Third time I hit my head off that. So we got the bolts here. There's one. Over here. And a little finger tighten. Get it how much needs to go. That's a 10 mil, so we can get this guy on there and give it some sauce. There we go. Right down, almost all the way. I'm not even feeding into anything, because that could also be a possibility, but it's getting kind of tight, so I think I got it. Another one over here. And this guy just gets pushed over. So it gets on there. There we go. We're going to tighten that up too. And this last bolt goes right in here. Alright. Oh, I dirtied my lens. No way. There you go, guys. Alright, that guy just came out of there. I just want to move it to get in here. Get this little guy in its home. There we go. Just want to give her a little turn ahead of time if you can. This isn't really lining up, so my second option is to put an extension on this guy. All over the place. Extension. Oh God, that's gone. All right. Oh, it didn't hit the ground, guys. Come on. Oh, there it is. She is pinned, but I got it. Whew, back in it. All right, like we were gonna do. Little fiasco. That on this. You guys got a good view of that? I actually don't. But somewhere around here. Going to be a spot I can get this thing threaded. Oh, I can actually see it, and I am way off. You guys can see it right there. So I gotta move the intake up quite a bit, kind of like that. So we will get that done, and that is the last part of our huge ordeal. Getting this whole thing done. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's in there. Some sort of a thread, I hope. There we go. That's 100% a thread. Oh yeah. We are in it to win it. And turn, but there we go. There we go. It doesn't got to be crazy tight, because that's just a little bushing holding that on, and this fell off, so we'll put that back in there. Do some sort of crankcase vent from this. Vents in there, goes back in the intake. That good stuff. Let's not forget we did unplug something up here. Will be some sort of a plug. Here, I buried it back here. This guy. Don't forget about him. Goes right up in there, but this wire needs to get a little more lift. I kind of pinched it. There we go. So watch when you're putting that back on, because I kind of pinched it back in there. But hey, there it is. Plugs back on, bolt. that's exactly where he started, ladies and gentlemen. So we have done the valve cover gasket on the hardest side. Seems so intimidating, but hey, we got her done. A little bit of sweat, a little bit of hard work. We got her. No big deal. Anyways, like and subscribe if you like what you see. If I have any more really shitty jobs to do, I will make sure to film them for you guys. All right, have a good one.